This is Mel Gibson's most original epic masterpiece. In order to pursue realism, he directly hired a group of Mayans as actors. Apocalypto condensed the decline of a civilization into 139 minutes. This is a wonderful piece of primeval forest that cannot be missed. The Maya tribe is hunting wild boars. The elder with animal teeth on his nose is called Chatu. He's the leader of the tribe. The young man with the bone hairpin on his head is called Black Panther. He is the son of Chatu. As the name suggests, the Black Panther is the prince of the tribe. As agile as a leopard, he's a good hunter. Sure enough, the wild boar was finally captured by the Black Panther. The fist is the last word. This is the rule of primitive society. As a hunter, the Black Panther has the right to distribute prey. Even if Chatu is a patriarch and the father of the Black Panther, unable to interfere, the Black Panther dissected the wild boar's heart, liver, ears, etc., on the spot and assigned them to his friends one by one. But Daniel was full of expectations at the beginning, and then felt disappointed, and his face gradually dimmed. Finally, the Black Panther handed the pig's balls to Daniel. The people around the cow burst into laughter. Although the big cow was the biggest in the tribe, he was always bullied because he was infertile and had been married to his wife for many years. He didn't even have an egg, pushed by his mother-in-law all day long. It can be seen that fertility is the top priority of every ethnic group. Daniel is incompetent in this aspect, so he is teased. It is said that eating pig eggs can give birth to a litter of piglets like a pig. Under the coercion and inducement of the Black Panther, Daniel screamed, he held his breath and ate the pig's eggs. More violent laughter erupted around him. This was the Black Panther's prank. Pig's eggs cannot be eaten at all. The bull became angry and struggled with the Black Panther. Others did not stop him. This is how primitive people express love and hate. Everything is done directly with fists, and the tribe is very united. Especially small tribes who need to stick together for warmth. There will never be serious internal fighting, let alone casualties due to internal fighting. In the end, the stone cannot be seen, and the two of them pulled away. He brought Daniel to he was given a packet of magic medicine and claimed that it was the secret to giving birth to 10 children. The big cow actually thought it was true and thanked him repeatedly. He kept it carefully. When everyone was happy, the Black Panther suddenly entered a state of alert. His eyes were fixed in one direction and there was nothing in front of him. In the dense forest, Black Panther firmly believed that if there were no one nearby who could sense danger, he would not be able to survive. In the jungle full of dangers. Sure enough, a man with the same nose and animal teeth, who was suspected to be the leader of the tribe, stood up. And then several more people appeared. The heads and their unified ball heads were obviously from other tribes. The people of the Stone tribe quietly held their weapons and the war was about to break out. There were many people on the opposite side, but Chatu saw the deep fear in the other side's eyes. He suppressed the tribesmen who were about to move and shouted to the opposite side. I called Stone, my father. My father's father, my father's father's father. I'll hunt here. In the future, my son's son. My son's son will also hunt here. Meatball Head suddenly realized and presented the big fish caught nearby. Chatu was a little confused. He wanted to say that this land was his territory, not to ask the Meatball Head to hand over the prey. So he ordered the Black Panther to send a pig leg to replace the other party's fish. Ball Head, this time he understood completely and quickly expressed that the clan was just I. Almost had the words no offense engraved on my face when I passed by. It turned out that the tribe of Meathead was attacked by a terrifying team. They were looking for a new territory. The Black Panther sensed the danger. The scary team might be nearby. He caught up before I wanted to find out what happened. The stone stopped the Black Panther. He was like a rock and the anchor of the sea in everyone's hearts. The stone noticed the fear in the Black Panther's heart and began to educate the Black Panther. Only those who have courage in their hearts can become an excellent hunter. If you fall into fear, then you will become a prey to be slaughtered. The Black Panther must overcome himself and not pass on his fear to others. Otherwise, the fate of the Wanzatu tribe will be theirs tomorrow. Everyone packs up the prey and returns to the tribe. There is peace in the tribe. The little turtle, the son of the Black Panther, is teasing. Monkey and Daniel also went back to the house to make love with their wives and the plan of creating a human being. The others carried the loot home and asked the mother-in-law to cook. Suddenly, Daniel and his wife rushed out of their tent as if their eggs were covered by scorpions. It turned out that the solid stone on the surface was a conspiracy. Man, the magic medicine he gave to Daniel was chili pepper. The whole tribe burst into laughter. Daniel couldn't help but be happy. They live a simple life and think simple things. They can be happy for a long time with small things and don't hold grudges afterwards. But Black Panther didn't sleep well that night. He dreamed that Wanzwodu held his heart, gasped, and told him to run quickly. The way Wanzwodu fled in panic with the tribe left a deep impression on the Black Panther. He could not get rid of the fear. But just when the Black Panther was worried, the crisis was also coming. The terrible team was approaching quietly and was preparing to attack the tribe. The Black Panther accidentally caught a glimpse of a flash of fire in the forest. and felt that something was wrong. He hurriedly woke up his wife and children to avoid him. Wife and children under a big hole near the tribe, and then returned to the tribe to help the tribe. It had become a mess. Seeing that Gao Ponytail was about to kill his own tribe, Black Panther flew up, controlled Gao Ponytail, and then started a competition for strength. Black Panther was obviously better, and he was almost able to kill Gao Ponytail, but at the critical moment the leader of the Gao Ponytail clan didn't follow martial ethics. He hooked the Black Panther's neck from behind and walked on the line of life and death. Gao Ponytail was very angry, but the clan leader wanted to save the Black Panther's life. There is a word called murder and heartbreaking. He couldn't touch the Black Panther. A hairless hare can handle the Black Panther's father. He used a stone knife to cut open the stone's neck in front of the Black Panther. The Black Panther's eyes were splitting, frightened and afraid of the stone, but he had already seen through life and death. The birds in the sky, the wild boar in the forest, water. Nothing in the world can escape the fate of death. Only with courage can you face everything calmly and become a strong man. Don't be afraid. This is the 4-character motto Shitu gave to Black Panther before he died. The Gao Ponytail clan is well prepared and has a large number of people, and the methods were cruel. The Stone tribe could not withstand the heavy casualties. After Stone was killed and Black Panther was captured, the decline became more and more obvious. In the end, they were defeated. Adult men and women were captured alive. This was not a war, but a unilateral invasion and massacre. The purpose of the Takao Ponytail clan was not that. Expanding the territory is not plundering resources. They're just hunting. All prey will be sold to Stone City. Black Panther just suffered a disaster. His tribe was attacked. His father was killed. His wife and children were trapped in a deep cave. And he himself became a slave and was strung together. Tanghulu rushed to the legendary Stone City where the earth oozed blood. It was a difficult journey. Through the jungle and through rapids. The Black Panther and his group walked on the narrow mountain road. Behind the Black Panther was his best friend. But this young man was injured during the battle. After a long journey, he could no longer support him. His feet slipped and the Black Panther slid down the cliff. If there were not 3 people in front of him struggling to support them, they would have been shattered. The Black Panther kept struggling. He could not die, and he could not let his friend die. However, Moe deliberately teased Black Panther but did not send anyone to rescue him. Gao Ponytail hated Black Panther and almost killed him. In order to humiliate Black Panther, he almost gave him a name. It took everyone a lot of effort to turn the crisis into an encore. However, Gao Ponytail untied Black Panther. The restraints of his friends pushed him off the cliff. He just wanted to appreciate the Panther's pain and death. The series of stimulation made the Panther's hatred for the High Ponytail grow crazily, and he wanted to kill the enemy immediately. But now he was tightly bound and could not resist. They had no choice but to look for another opportunity to make another plan. After trekking for a day and night, they finally reached an open area. This was once a gathering place for a tribe, but now it is rarely visited. The ground was full of dead trees. When they passed through this area, they saw a person. The little girl cried on her mother's body. The lonely little girl asked Gao Moe for help. But Gao Moe saw that the little girl was covered with leprosy and was afraid of being infected. So he used a wooden stick to drive the little girl away. The little girl who was rejected for help suddenly looked like a god, possessed. Her majestic gaze passed through the crowd and met the Black Panther. She told Gao Ponytail a prophecy. The day is about to turn into night. The person possessed by the Black Panther will lead you to the end. The little girl's godly look gave Gao Ponytail. The horsetail left a psychological shadow, and a seed of fear was planted. They continued to walk forward and passed a section of white land. The ground was covered with lime. Countless slaves worked here until the end of their lives. Then came the mines, farmlands and cloth-making workshops. Everything here was in order. The materials produced will be used to support a more advanced and complete civilization in Stone City that believes in the sun. People here are divided into grades according to color and clothing. Those with green paint on their bodies are nobles. They wear gorgeous cloths and complicated accessories. These ornaments are made of precious stones and bronze. They have entered the bronze civilization. Slaves only have a rag to cover their shame. They serve the nobles to eat and drink. Others have different decorations according to their own types of work. Soldiers wear armor, weavers, women wear flower robes. Merchants, the witches had patterned limbs and were wearing short skirts. The Black Panthers were painted with blue paint by a group of people as soon as they arrived in Stone City. They were divided into 2 groups. The women were taken to the market for auction. If no one wanted them, the men were let go to fend for themselves. They were led to the altar in the center of Stone City. On the pyramid made of stones, there were several men with patterned heads and feathered hats. Sitting on the chairs was the king of Stone City. Standing in front of the stage was the high priest, and the others were ministers and guards. And tens of thousands of people gathered in the square under the servant stage. This was a grand sacrificial event that had lasted for more than a month. In the past 2 years, Stone City has suffered from severe drought and high temperatures. The earth has been cracking. They believe that this is the wrath of the gods and the earth must be let go. Drink blood to calm the sun, so that we can survive this crisis safely. The stone steps have been dyed red. The square is full of withered heads. But this is not enough. The disaster will continue. So they send out troops to hunt and capture the small and backward tribes. The Black Panther and his group were taken to the altar and lined up to be sent to the guillotine. The area was heavily guarded. How should the Black Panther escape? His former partners died tragically one by one. The Black Panther couldn't bear it when he was also pulled to the guillotine. Only the smiling faces of his wife and children were left in his mind. He could not die. His wife and children were still trapped in the deep cave. If he did not go back, his wife and children would not survive. Perhaps it was the sincerity of the Black Panther that moved the sun. The bright sky began to darken. The Tengu attacked the sun like this. The abnormal phenomenon frightened the priests and the king, thinking that the god was angry and suspended the killing. The Black Panther escaped, but the crisis was not over yet. The few surviving men were taken to the hunting ground by Gao Ponytail. They became the prey of the Gao Ponytail clan. It is used to train young members in hunting skills. The remaining people race in pairs in the hunting ground with javelins, bows, arrows, and stones. They run out of the hunting ground. Behind the cornfield is the forest where the Black Panthers have lived for generations. But how can people outrun the weapons? One by one, they fell before the finish line and were killed by the eldest son of the High Ponytail leader. Only 2 of them were left. The Black Panther and his companions ran together. They wandered the field without rhythm to avoid injury. But they still fell 1 step away from the cornfield. The eldest son of the patriarch with High Ponytail came over. Will the life of the Black Panther end here? The bow and arrow did not hit the vital part of the Black Panther. He reluctantly cut off the arrow. Another companion dragged down the eldest son of the patriarch, buying the Black Panther some time. Finally, the Black Panther using arrows as weapons. They killed the eldest son of the clan and fled in a hurry towards the cornfield. The falconer was pecked in the eye by an eagle. The clan leader was very sad and ordered all High Ponytails to pursue the Black Panther. Several members lined up in a fan shape to conduct a carpet search. At this time, the Black Panther had already passed through. He ran through the mass graves in the cornfield and saw the greenery of his hometown. This man had just escaped death and lost all his companions. He broke into the forest alone and injured, and was followed by a large group of pursuers. The way home was right in front of him. Could he get rid of the pursuers and escape completely? After the Black Panther was injured, he continued to lose blood. All members of the High Ponytail clan were full of health and pursued the Black Panther. If this continued, it would not be long before the Black Panther would be exhausted. He quickly climbed up with his wits. He temporarily escaped the pursuers by climbing a tree. The next moment, the Black Panther found a little leopard cub above his head. He bumped his head carefully. A female leopard bared her fangs towards him. As soon as he got out of the wolf's den and entered the tiger's den, the Black Panther jumped out of the tree and escaped. The leopard chased the other High Ponytail tribe and also found out that they had been deceived by the Black Panther. They went back to look for the Black Panther. The Black Panther was followed by a fierce female leopard this time, who was the fastest on the High Ponytail side and who was unlucky. One unlucky guy became a female leopard. The evil spirit in the mouth of the leopard took the Black Panther. Only then did the others catch up and work together to subdue the female leopard. The loss of this companion stirred up an atmosphere of terror among the High Ponytail clan. Some people remembered the fable of the little girl. Day turned into night and the Black Panther possessed it. The person who is alive will lead you to the end. When the priest wanted to kill the Black Panther, the day turned into night. Then the eldest son of the Gao Ponytail tribe died tragically. Now the Black Panther somehow attracted a female leopard and killed another member. Could it be that he really killed the High Ponytail tribe? The clan was led to destruction, but the clan leader had no intention of canceling the pursuit. They could only continue chasing. They didn't know that the Black Panther had been dispelled and was in a continuous bleeding state. He found a hemostatic tree and bit off the bark to simply heal the wound. This forest belonged to him. The place where he grew up was his ancestral territory. He had the home field advantage, and the pursuit lasted for a day and night. The Black Panther changed routes several times to hide his body, but could not get rid of the High Ponytail clan. It would definitely not work if the situation continued. The Black Panther decided to fight back and deliberately stayed. The trace smeared the paint on the tree trunk. Gao Ponytail thought he had found the trace of the Black Panther. He went back and was attacked by a poisonous snake. The Gao Ponytail clan lost another general and lost an important teammate. The Gao Ponytail clan gained an anger bonus and distance from the Black Panther. Keep getting closer. If it weren't for the difficulty of using the bow and arrow in the jungle, the Black Panther would have died. The panther, who was in a panic and couldn't choose his way, was driven into the river. There was a waterfall in front of him and pursuers behind him. Anyway, it was a narrow escape. The panther jumped down. After a moment, the panther, his head popped out of the water. He won the bet. His paint was washed away by the water, and he turned back into his former naked self. He loudly announced to the High Ponytail clan that The forest was his land. His ancestors had hunted here for generations. And so would his descendants in the future. The owner of this land provoked the leader of the Gaomawei clan so much that the fire accumulated to its peak, facing a waterfall dozens of meters high. Some people in the Gaomawei clan were afraid and suggested to take a detour, stab him in the chest with a knife. The clan leader forced everyone to jump down and continue the pursuit. The results can be imagined. Some people had close contact with the underwater reefs. Some people were not familiar with the water and could no longer resurface. In the end, only the 5 clan leaders, Gao Ponytail, and 3 followers, Black Panther, would not stand where they were, waiting to be caught. He swam through the black swamp and arrived at the place where he once hunted wild boars and released Meatball Head. He was covered in black mud, but his temperament was like a high-ranking king. This is his territory. How can he allow outsiders to run wild? Black Panther stood there. When the Gao Ponytail clan caught up, they threw a hornet's nest at them. The 5 people were covered by the wasps and fled in all directions. The formation of the group was disrupted. The Black Panther had the opportunity to fight back one by one. The Black Panther left it behind. A few thorns. Then he grabbed a few tool frogs, dipped the thorns in frog poison, then left clues and lurked by the river. When Gao Ponytail passed by with his little follower, he used sleeves as a syringe to shoot the poison needle and kill one person. Next, it was a head-to-head confrontation between Black Panther and Tall Ponytail. The 2 charged at Black Panther. He used a sliding shovel to force Tall Ponytail's axe, then picked up the weapon on the ground and struck back with his hand, hitting Tall Ponytail's head hard. This time, he didn't almost cut it with his hand. The executioner who killed his father and maimed his fellow tribesmen. The sudden heavy rain washed away the joy of the Black Panther killing his enemy. The deep cave became a reservoir. If he didn't hold on, the Black Panther's wife and children would be drowned. The Black Panther hurried to the hole. What was behind him? The pursuers did not give him time to rescue his wife and children. Finally, the leader of the Gao Ponytail tribe shot an arrow through the Black Panther's shoulder. The Black Panther knew that there was no hope of escape, and it was another life and death battle. The leader of the Gao Ponytail tribe launched a charge towards the Black Panther, but he remained motionless and focused on the ground. The foot of the high ponytail leader touched a rope, and then a mechanism popped up and nailed him to death. Good will be rewarded with good, and evil will be punished with evil. He led to invade other tribes, and they will definitely end up bad. The only 2 remaining followers will end up good. Finally, we caught up to the scene. Black Panther panicked and ran toward the sea. When he collapsed on the beach exhausted, the 2 followers also put down their weapons, because there were several big guys floating on the water. There were several giant sailing boats. The men dressed in silk looked both noble and savage. He obviously came from a civilization that was more advanced than Stone City. The little follower lost his mind and walked toward the sea in a daze. However, Black Panther sensed the danger and turned around to run back. His wife and children were still waiting for him in the cave. Fortunately, the water level has not yet flooded the heads of his wife and children, and the wife gave birth to their daughter successfully despite the heavy rain. The sky finally cleared up. Black Panther took his wife and children to migrate deeper into the forest. Those huge sailing ships made him feel the new crisis, proving his feeling right. A group of people from Spain launched a new era of exploitation and killing on this land. The movie Apocalypto is directed by Mel Gibson and tells an original adventure story. The story is set in an era when the Mayan civilization is about to disappear. The background starts with a small tribe to show the life of primitive humans, and then uses the escape of the Wanzitu tribe to break the existing peaceful layout and introduce conflicts. After the Black Panther's Stone tribe was attacked, the map was further expanded and all the characters were moved to Stone City. This time it shows the developed productivity of Stone City and the civilizational characteristics of the Mayan civilization that believes in the sun god. With the solar eclipse, the little girl's prophecy comes true. The plot begins to turn into an escape game between the Black Panther and the Tall Ponytail clan to rescue their wives and children. Fate supports the Black Panther to persist in the struggle when the enemy is strong and we are weak. The map turns back to the forest again. The grand structure of a primitive society has been revealed. But the story is not over yet. The giant sailing ship at the end of the film is the finishing touch. A corner of the vast world map appears. What civilization is on the other side of the sea? The conquest of Stone City by the surrounding small tribes is a kind of dimensionality reduction attack. The civilization on the other side of the sea is invaded by Stone City is also a dimensionality reduction attack. The Black Panther tribe was invaded and driven out. How long can you escape into the mountains? This is the process of the disappearance of a civilization. The biggest controversy in this film is the human head sacrifice and the grave of tens of thousands of corpses. Historical relics discovered today show that although the Mayan civilization believed in the sun god and held large-scale sacrificial activities, it was not so brutal. This should be the scapegoat left behind by the Aztec civilization. If you look carefully, there are more historical holes in the film. You don't have to worry about it. As we all know, just watch Lao Mai's movie to experience the plot, pictures and sound effects. It's not a gimmick to invite the Mayans to star. It is said that Lao Maya at that time Mela has a group of local Maya descendants. So they can show such an original picture. Without further ado, please move your little hands. I want to retweet and like. Thank you.